Hey, welcome back to the best YouTube channel ever. This awesome long sleeve thing. Have this pinky ring till I get a wedding ring. I'm gonna have my jeans to make the mean. So this is what I have. It's called V Magic, and if you have a girlfriend, if you have a friend that's a girl, or your wife or whatever, this is powerful stuff. It works very, very well. Staying moisturized down there is important, not just for, you know, obvious reasons, but also because prevent infection and prevent like yeast infections and stuff like that. So this is I got this from Amazon. It's called V Magic, and it's made from olive oil, buckthorn fruit oil, avocado oil, beeswax, honey, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And it doesn't really smell like anything. It smells clean. It smells like fruit, and this is what it looks like. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show that this product really works very, very well. Typically you're going to want to apply it, you know, topically, not necessarily internally, but you know, if you have a lady friend that needs help, you know, if you don't know, now you know. Okay, this is what I use, and it works very, very well. So it's really important, you know, cleansing yourself. If you are a man, you know, clean yourself down there. Trying to avoid like harsh stuff, because naturally our bodies are already clean. Like, we clean ourselves naturally. Our bodies do, at least I should say. So you don't need to go out and buy, you know, like feminine hygiene clears to insert stuff in down there, because it can actually make things worse. So it can actually throw the pH off in your lady parts. Same thing with men, you know, so in your genital area, typically if you use like, you know, heavy, harsh, scented products, it can actually make certain odors exposed. So you want to be careful. Typically just water and rinsing it is sufficient. Tretinoin is the one where you put on your face. And yes, men can use it too. People think often like, oh, men can't use it, and that's like false. I used to use like these Korean face masks, but I'm like, why am I going to keep spending my money on this stuff when I can just make my own stuff at home? You put in the fridge, right? So basically what I did is, I'm actually going to show you the consistency here in a second. But what's in here is 1 scoop of rice. Okay, you're going to want to use jasmine rice. Use water. You're going to rinse and clean the rice about 2 times. And then on the 3rd time, you're going to let the water soak with the rice for about 30 minutes. Once it's soaked, you're going to blend the rice with the water in a blender or in a food processor until it's become like really thick. After that, you're going to put it in the fridge for about 2 hours. This is the consistency. And this is a face mask, so you can put it on your face. And they do this in Korea. This is the exact recipe actually that they use in Korea. Again, I do a lot of research, so this is what I found. On your face, it's going to get really dry and thick, and wipe it off after about 10 minutes. You can do it about every night. I've been doing it every, you know, couple of nights or what have you. And it really helps to kind of get your skin nice and glowy. So that's kind of one of my, I guess, secrets. Although it's not really a secret anymore. But nothing too expensive, nothing stupid, you know, shoving down money down their throats, and all, you know, businesses taking your money. Now, that's not to say to not buy like facial masks. I know a lot of Americans, all these white girls, they want to buy these face masks. It's like pennies, and it's just as effective, if not more. And this is what they actually did in Korea. So anyways, that's a different conversation. So that's that. Okay, my last one is the natural, if you're into science, everyone knows birth control. So birth control is a multi-billion-dollar business in America, and there's a lot of dangers to it. To make it short and sweet, birth control it has its place, and by no means am I a doctor. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a doctor. However, I know I've done a lot of research, and there are people that they take it and they just change as a person. You know, they change, right? Their personality changes as a result of the hormones. Any kind of hormone that you use, it has the potential to change you. Even in the world of fitness, you know, if you're taking enhancements, you take a hormone, it does have the potential to change you. Not all the time, but it does have the potential to do that depending on your genetics. Again, this is a lot of genetics. There is a natural way. So obviously one of them is simply simply withdrawing, right? So if you are, having intercourse, then obviously the man withdraws before he experiences the heavens. Way is through IUDs, right? There's a popular one here in America. A lot of people use it. Two of them, actually. One of them is Yelena, the other one's Morena. But the reason why I'm highly against them is it typically just messes with her cycle and with her personality, her mental well-being. A method of contraception, aside from obviously, the condom route. But I think that the man, should take control in that situation rather than putting it on the woman, because the woman, it's the female body is very complex as it is. So when you introduce something that is foreign to it without knowledge or aware of how to navigate it when things go south, it's very dangerous. And not to mention how it's seemed normal for people to do it when it shouldn't be normal. So like in the world of fitness, if you're into enhancements, like trying to build bigger muscles like Yelena, people, we take things, and but the difference is that if you choose to take an enhancement to build muscle or to get stronger, it's safe to assume that usually you're educated on what you're doing, or at least you are aware that there are risks. The problem with birth control for a lot of women is that, number one, they're not educated, and number two, they're not aware on how they're going to respond or how to deal with situations that are going to come up. Because situations are going to come up. Anything you put in your body, there's always going to be some sort of consequence to it. It's just a matter of whether or not you're aware and you take responsibility for your actions. The world of birth control, I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't. It's just I am very skeptical, and there is a better way. One of them, again, just do the condom route, do the withdrawal route, and the other way is what I'm about to show you. So this is basically you track your cycle. So I think it's very important. This is one of the reasons why I'm against birth control is it kind of teaches women in a way to not track her menstrual cycle. So let me relate this back to fitness. If your menstrual cycle is going to affect how strong you get, it's going to affect how much muscle you can put on. It's going to affect your sleep. It's going to affect quite literally everything. So you have to keep that in mind. I think it's during your luteinizing hormone phase when it's up or something is when you're the weakest during the month. You know that your menstrual cycle is going to come this week or what have you. Then, you know that, okay, maybe I need to back off of training just a little bit, not push it too hard, because your body is already vulnerable and it's going to start releasing that blood. And females are a little bit more weaker during that, 3 or 5 days. You can get what's called ovulation strips. So this is something I actually got a while ago. I just found it and I thought, it'd be a great topic for the video. And I was just curious to start tracking my own. Because you can use this even if you're not sexually active. But if you are and you want to, identify which days of the month you are least likely to conceive, this is a great way. It's a natural way. You just take the strip, so produce these 2 lines. And if it's 2 dark lines, that means that you release the luteinizing hormone. Release the luteinizing hormone, I believe. And if it's not 2 strong white lines, or 2 strong pink lines, then that means you are not in the luteinizing phase, which means that you didn't ovulate. So this basically tells you when you ovulated, and around the time that you did ovulate and you have intercourse, then you're more than likely going to conceive. They want you to be on birth control because it's money for them and in their pocket. There's really no logical way to explain that having birth control in your body is going to be healthy for you, because anything foreign that you put in your body when it comes to hormones is not in any way, shape, or form going to be relatively healthy within context. And there's no real definition of what healthy even means, because what works for her might not work for her. That video, talk a little bit about that, I guess, kind of like an intimate care, and then skincare, and then of course tracking your cycle. It's really important to understand your body. If you can understand your body, it's going to be much easier for you to build muscle and get stronger. Fun fact, if you are into fitness and into heavy kind of workouts and like CrossFit or powerlifting or whatever, it's not uncommon that girls will lose their menstrual cycle because of whether it be stress, lots of training or enhancements, or You know, sometimes some girls just have irregular for whatever reason. There are two things you can do. So the first one is chasteberry. It's a tincture, Chasteberry, and you just take about a droplet of that every day, and that will stimulate you to get your menstrual cycle back. Typically, if you go to a gynecologist, they're going to put you on birth control to get you your menstrual cycle back. And again, highly against that personally, but again, do what your doctor says. But chasteberry is a really healthy herbal route that seems to work. Another route is taking progesterone. Typically, if you take a progesterone pill, usually it can trigger to get your menstrual cycle back if you have lots of like androgens in your body, or if you're just like stressed out. So usually for women, if they're stressed out, it's because their progesterone is really low. If they start to lose hair, I believe, like they obviously have too much androgens in their body, or their progesterone is also pretty low, I believe. So the two main ways to kind of get her cycle back, or get your cycle back if you are struggling with that. But yeah, so that's the video I have for today. Hopefully that's, you know, useful for you and helps you out if you are struggling. And I'll see you next video.